I think the question I've always been talking to, I would say, of the all my guests is that when things happen that quickly, and you were studying, okay, you're studying finance and accounting, the music industry it has a very different way of working. It's not like a regular job where here's your pay, here's the work you do and stuff, because you're creating intellectual property and you're creating things that has long-term values. How much of that did you personally think about? Like, okay, what am I signing to? What am I? So you know what you ownership and stuff.
Yeah, now I'm at that age, you don't know what you're doing. And I had, my parents were behind me the whole time, but you feel like, oh, they don't know anything about this industry. I know what I'm doing. And you wind up signing things you really should not have been signing.
Wow.
It happens. That's exactly what happened to me. Did not understand the industry at all. But you know what? I came out in one piece. But it's that's what happens, especially when the younger you are. This
Mm.
industry will try to put you in some situations that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, when I interviewed Shanice Wilson, she said that because her mum knew the industry, she felt that they used it against her because they couldn't take as much advantage of her. So it actually stifled her
Mhm.
career after the first album. So the more you know, the less they really want to invest in you.
Yes, yes. You know, the music industry, they have a plan, and that plan may not stretch. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for their business. So we understand that. But in the you're still taking advantage, especially the kids, the young adults. If you don't, they're not going to tell you to go get an attorney. They're not going to explain to you the contract. So you're so excited that this is your shot. You're going to now be in the music industry, in the entertainment industry, and they may put four things in front of you, and you say, "Well, you know what? I'll sign these two, and then I'll have someone look at the other two." But those other two may be binding for the rest of your life.
Wow.
So this industry they know what they're doing, and it's up to each individual to make sure that you're looking out for your back, or you have someone looking out for you.
Now, I recently heard DJ Clark Kent in a podcast interview, and he said that he briefly worked as A&R at Elektra under Sylvie Rowan. And when he saw the contracts, he said, "Wow, this isn't great. I need to let them know." And he was told that um, this this is the music business. It's up to them to get the knowledge, and we're not going to teach them. So you don't teach them what to do, and he felt bad about that, but it was how it was structured. And my concern then becomes, is it more for the black artists? Because when I interviewed Take Six, they got
Mm-hmm.
signed to Warner in Nashville, and they got given a sort of a country music contract, which was, you keep all your stuff and you get all your generous bonuses and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
and they were taken care of compared to if they were signed to a black label. And I do wonder, did you, being in the industry, did you think that it is more geared towards black artists not getting treated fairly, or and compared, because especially since I was on Warner Bros, he might have seen the disparity.
Sure. That's a good question, Andy. And I think what it is especially in a situation with Uptown or a Def Jam, which were boutique labels. They weren't the big multi conglomerate that Columbia or Warner Brothers or MCA at the time. So these are small businesses. They don't have a lot of capital to spend out and take care, have a bevy of attorneys to look over things. So those quote unquote those black small labels, no, they're not. They're in business too. They could be out of business the next year.
Mm.
So they really have to try to. I'm not going to say that, not try to take advantage of people, but those contracts are going to be really heavy towards the label.
Mm.
Now, a situation that you just explained with Take Six, signed to a major, they want to do, because they want to do business correctly. They're going to be around, but those smaller labels, they don't have that protection. They could, as I said, they could be out on the street tomorrow, just like the artist. So that I saw that, in the industry, that, those newer companies, they're definitely looking out for themselves. And they say, well, you're not losing anything because you're new to this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they feel that if we both grow together, maybe the contracts will be a little bit more fair.
Okay. But then Al being signed to Warner Brothers, did he go directly with them, or he was still under Uptown but distributed by Warner?
Right. He was signed through Uptown, and then Uptown did the deal with Warner Brothers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
There
okay.
we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, how did you? So because you said up that you started learning to play the keyboard and stuff as an there must be a difference because I used to think that albums where you had a band in the studio making the music and then you sing over them, but I learned that the studios are pretty much programmed. So how did you take your knowledge of playing live instruments to actually recording an album?
You know what? I had some good people to direct me, and I learned from, direct to watch. Eddie F., who was at that time already comfortable and used to being in studio.
Wow.
And he knew the equipment. See, the equipment was something. I mean, I played the piano, so these keyboards that had all these different sounds and all that, Eddie F. was able to introduce that to us, to myself and B.Sure. And then right after that, Teddy Riley, the great Teddy Riley, we worked under him, and he already had his sound. And he wasn't the Teddy Riley that we knew yet, but he was a genius. He's a genius. So we got to see him for a brief time working this equipment, this new equipment, and just being in the studio with these people, Eddie F. and Teddy Riley, and watching what they do. That's how you learn.
Wow.
So I was able to kind of, just learn from those who are already in the studio and learn the craft.
Yeah, because Eddie, I used to just think he was just the DJ that just plays the record and scratches. But and as I said, from interviewing people from Donnell to Jimmy Love and so many people, everyone says look, Eddie was a different animal when it comes to production. Well, so at those days, was he a producer or was he just a DJ? What was his?
He was more of a producer than a DJ. Oh yeah, Eddie F. Executive. He already had the executive in him at that time. So DJ was just what you saw, and he was a good DJ because he was a DJ in high school. But he knew the equipment. He's a drum master, drum machine master. He had all the drum sounds. He knew all the loops. That's what Eddie F. was as a producer, and then he had the ear. So even though he couldn't play music or didn't play music, he knew what the record was supposed to sound like. And that's what helped us because I was classically trained.
Yeah.
So he said, no, you want to dumb that down a little bit and do this and do that. And then, and then we all kind of said, oh, listen to these new sounds. And we put the sounds and the structure together. And that's how we kind of all came together with the demo, which led to the first B.Sure album.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat. Sweet.